Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yolanda, and in today's video I'm bringing back to you guys another video on Unfiltered Me, and it's about overcoming loneliness, abandonment, and learning to love myself. And so before we start, make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up, make sure to subscribe down below, and if I would just go on with this video. Okay, so basically, where should I start? Because it's like a whole bunch, let me tell you. Like, out of 16 years of my life, and I know it might just be a little bit to some people, but like it's truly like a lot for me. Okay, now there's a lot. This can go like romantically, it can go like platonically, or just like even in a family dynamic, you know, feeling loneliness. But today I'm doing it in the romantic way, okay? Because I could talk about the other stuff later on in the day, but I feel like I just kind of need to like vent this out a little bit, you know? Because like I'm kind of going through the emotions a little bit. Like literally yesterday night, I was like, ugh. Like it was just like kind of getting to me. I was like, I just need to really like talk it out through. So we're gonna talk it through, you know. But basically, I have had no luck with guys, if I'm being for real, you know. And like you might be like, oh yeah, you're 16, this and that, but like let me tell you, the pressure in Generation Z, especially on social media, at school, and just like my parents and all this stuff, to like have somebody, oh, the pressure is real. I don't know about you guys, but me over here, girl, I'm going through it, okay? And I don't know, for so long I've chased people. It is not even funny. Like let me tell you, like the first boyfriend I had was in middle school. That lasted a week, and then he broke up with me, and then we got back together for like a few days, and then it just all ended. That's the closest I've ever been. Let me tell you, the closest I have ever been to something real. Like it was real, it meant something to me in the moment, but actually that's pretty much it to that. It was literally that. The second closest I came to was nearly 2 years ago with this guy, my neighbor, but that's a whole nother story though. But yeah, and I don't know, after that whole debacle, which was in 7th grade when I had like my little boyfriend, in 8th grade I started chasing people, and in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th, and I started confessing myself to all these guys, because over time, like, you know, we'd be good friends, everything, and I confessed myself, and it'd be like, either it'd be unreciprocated, either that, or I wasn't their type, or, you know, like the whole I'm focusing on my sports, or just like plainly just weren't interested. We had people who, you know, there's a lot of reasons that I've gotten, or people were just like, or the one that I was almost close with were just like, let's just take it slow, or just let me see, like let's just go with the flow, things like that. Never trust them. Oh my gosh, get you somebody that knows what they want. And I think that was my problem, you know, like especially given the fact that all the things that I've been through in my childhood, though I feel like a part of it is just like wanting somebody, so just taking anybody that comes at me. So like kind of my standards are like on the floor. Like the bar is so low, let me tell you, it is very low. Okay, it's real. The struggle is definitely real out here. And for so long I've longed for something. Like let me tell you, I make a lot of friends, okay? Like I don't have problems making friends. And besides this one time, that was sophomore year, just that one class, I was putting with a lot of people, and they all had cliques. I felt like at the end of the day, I couldn't be friends with anybody in that class, because like they just all, not because of the whole cliques and everything that, but mainly because they were all like more relevant. And so therefore I just felt as though that I personally could not like, and I would not want to try to fit in with them, so I would just keep to myself. But that's the only time. Other than that though, like I have no problem making friends. Like, you know, like I have those fulfilling relationships with like my friends and like, you know, some of my family and stuff like that, but for the most part, just romantic, I just could not feel fulfilled in that way. And the thing is, it's like so hard, like, you know, it's like one of the like humanly thing like we need, and like there's a certain type of connection, and it's so beautiful, and I've always wanted that. And I don't know, And I know, like, yes, it's just high school and the dating game is like much more better in college, but it's just like, dang, like, is there literally nobody? Like, there's some people, like, let me tell you, just today I was talking to my friend. I was like, dang, like, I can't believe like these people that were high school sweethearts and they're no longer together. And I know it's like a 3% chance or whatever the heck of them not being together, but just still the idea that they're no longer together, though, I'm just like, what could have went wrong? But I know people go through their stuff in their relationships, people go different paths, grow from each other, go to different colleges and stuff like that, but just still, it's just like the fact that they had somebody. We were even talking about this girl who has a promise ring and they've been dating since they were 6th grade, and like, honestly, like, I'm happy for you, but at the same time it's just like, dang, like, you know, I wish to have that too. And that's just the reality of it. It's not even jealousy. It's just like, I mean it is, but like, it's also just like, dang, like, what am I doing, right? You know, like, it's hard to not question yourself with that. And that's another thing that I really struggled with. It's just that, and just like realizing, like, what's wrong with me? Because let me tell you, there's some people, and I remember about this one friend I had last year, and he was telling me like, oh yeah, like, some of the basketball players are asking about me, and then they're talking about, oh, some of the football players were asking about me, but it was all for the wrong reason, literally only because of my body. Because like, he told me, he was like, yeah, they're like, oh yeah, like, look at her, this and that, and like, he's like my close guy friend, and like, he wouldn't like lie to me like that, you know, like, saying that's like kind of like really weird to just, it's like, so like, I don't know, unnecessary to lie about that for real. And like, I trust him, like, we're still really good close friends, and he gives me like really good advice, everything like that now, right? And it's like, I really do trust him. So to hear that, at first I was like, oh my gosh, like, they know I exist, they acknowledge me. But then when I really thought about it, I was like, dang, it's like, I was like, all you're gonna look at me for? You know what I'm saying? There was this other incident earlier this year. This part really pissed me off. So basically, there's this guy, he claimed that he liked me or whatever, wanted to get to know me. I literally need to pull up the messages because it's crazy. We met up at school, we did this and that, we FaceTimed, I felt the vibes, we connected, we had a lot in common. He does video stuff, I do video stuff. Perfect, you know? Make contact together, right? And then one random day, he just stopped, like, you know, he didn't really check in as much. And then a few days later, I texted him a TikTok, he responded to it. And then the next day, he like asked me a question. He was like, oh yeah, how's your weekend? I responded, asked, how are you? And he just ghosted me. What do you mean ghosted me? And then 2 weeks later, there's this other guy, and he claimed that he liked me and stuff like that. And I was like, oh. And he was like, he liked me for like since sophomore year, and by this point I was in 2nd semester of junior year, and I was like, I literally knew. And during that time I did like him too, right? But I didn't know. And then so he had me, he texted me, and he's like, yeah, how he wants to go to prom with me, this and that. And then, you know, a few days, like, it was like a week later, whatever, it was kind of just like, oh, never mind. He was just like, oh yeah, like, actually, I'm just so busy with soccer, I don't even know if I'm gonna be available to go to prom. And he was just talking about like how he just, you know, it wouldn't be fair to me, this and that. And then I texted him, I was like, you know what, and my friend helped me text him, not even gonna cap, and she told me like, you know, I make time for people that I care about, yada yada yada. And it kind of took me aback, right? And then we had this other guy. I was friends with his sister, and his sister approved of it, first of all, too. But yeah, so then he texted me, he's like, and I was literally just reading this like 30 minutes ago. I was telling myself, I was like, why, what happened? And he literally texted me, he was like, hey, and I was like, hey. He Instagram DM'd me, he's like, hey, I think you're really cute, do you have a boyfriend? And by that I knew he was interested, and I looked him up and everything like that, and he was really cute, and I was like, oh my gosh, 6'1", this and that, right? And then we started talking and yada yada yada, we started FaceTiming, yada yada. And it was like a little bit dry FaceTiming, like I could tell like he liked me, but he was so nervous. And then I was asking him to like FaceTime at some point during the school year. He was like, oh yeah, like I'm so busy, this and that. And then one day I was like asking to like hang out on like, I was asking to hang out over the break because this was near spring break, right? And then you know what he said? He was like, you know, I'm just too busy, I'm trying to get my license, I'm just trying to do this and that, like football he was trying to focus on. And he's like, let's just be friends. But then at that point I was just like, why should I be friends? And then my therapist convinced me to be like, let's be friends, because she's all about reconnecting, this and that. And I get it. I mean, like, not cutting off people and keeping bridges still, but at the same time, some people don't deserve respect. And like, I get it. Like, I would have been his first relationship, first to a lot of stuff, but at the same time, it's just like, you kind of wasted my time there a little bit though. Like, a relationship, like, obviously requires like time, energy, effort into a person. You could barely last 2 or 3 weeks and stuff like that. And at least he told me early on, but it's just like, still like, I don't know, I couldn't do that to myself, being friends with him. So then I went back to message him, and you know what he did? I was like, you know, why would you even say this and that if you felt the other way? And he didn't respond to me, because she said that I needed closure and I really wanted closure, but he didn't give me closure, which is okay. I don't talk to the sister either, and I have nothing against her, but it's just like, so it kind of put me off. All in all, to say is that I've had bad luck and it's been hard, and being abandoned in this way, it's just like, dang, like, what did I just want? Because obviously, like, people think that I'm attractive, you know, and I think everybody's beautiful in their own ways, first of all. So if you're not getting people coming up to you, you have secret lovers. Because let me tell you, the 3 people that this incident happened with, they were technically secret lovers, and I would have never expected this. Like, they always had followed me. Like, he followed me like on TikTok for a hot second, and I would post all the time on there, so like that. So you definitely do have like your secret lovers and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's just like, dang, it makes me think, okay, what is wrong with my personality then? But then I was like, but I make a lot of friends, I have lots of friends, I have lots of good connections with people, and I always get like spoken highly of, even like at my boss at work, even professionally in that way. Like, she would always, the customers, be like, oh yeah, like, you know, she's so good at her job, this and that, right? And so like, I think people thought of me highly and everything, so then what did they want? And then I just realized, like, maybe at the end of the day, it is just the person. Like, yes, there may be things that are bad about my personality, that yeah, maybe I may not be somebody's type and be that attractive, but at the end of the day, like, I just dealt with people who just are not emotionally available, people who don't know what they want, basically can't commit. And it's hard though, because it's just like, dang, like, I don't know, it's just like, wow, it's like, I really wanted something real. You kind of low-key led me on to the idea of wanting something more, because like, with the whole thing of like, oh yeah, like, you're really cute, do you have a boyfriend? Obviously you're interested. Like, why are you so random person interested whether or not like I'm dating somebody? Like, obviously you're interested in me in a way, but have the audacity to say that, to say like, oh, never mind at all, it's just kind of like, it took me aback, you know what I'm saying? And so like, at the end of the day, you know, it just really just makes me sad. And sometimes I think about that, you know, it's just like, why, like, and when is my turn? But at the end of the day, you know, I realized that, so first of all, my body is enough. It's not enough. Personality is not enough. Both of them together, when people think that I have both, is not enough either. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter whether or not somebody thinks I'm worthy or not, because at the end of the day, all that matters is that if I believe it, then others will see it too. But if I'm insecure and don't see it in myself, then other people aren't gonna see it. And that, I think that's just the reality of it, to be honest. That at the end of the day, like, you can't really please everybody, and not everybody's meant for you too. But, and you'll go through a lot of people, but at the end of the day, just remembering things like, I'm so young, I just literally about to graduate, I have a lot of things going for me, and I should be proud of the place that I'm in, and just like who I am as a person and all the achievements I've made. And I don't need anybody to complete me. It'd be nice to have somebody though, but thinking of that stuff and really working on myself like I'm doing this summer, I'm really focusing on myself, has really helped me shift the energy from wanting somebody to really working on myself so I can be ready for that somebody. Because at the end of the day, like, I might have the things that people see great qualities in me, but I can always work on myself. It's always good to work on yourself and stuff like that. And so that is kind of just like how I deal with it. It gets hard sometimes, I'll tell you. Like, literally yesterday I was crying about it. I was like, dang, like, you know, like, what went wrong with me and this person? But at the end of the day, like, yes, there's faults in me, but I'm not gonna put too much of it on there, because at the end of the day, like, I have been dealing with immature guys, and I've also been lowering the standard, but I need to up the standard because, you know, with working on myself, becoming a quality, or just like, you know, growing myself in ways, I need to find somebody who can equally or greater match that energy and that new mindset and shift in my mind, that those new values that I value, I hope they would value too, like that, if you get what I'm saying. And so yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Peace is already out.